Hello everyone and welcome. So in this tutorial I just want to walk you through the basic usage of the Sun Study Tool. It's pretty straightforward and fairly easy to use, but there are a few tricks, so I want to make sure that you understand exactly how to make Sun Study work for you. Okay, so to begin, I have this simple model, and this just came from Revit. It's the Revit standard model, and I sent it over. This is basically just it, okay? So simple model to use for a good demonstration like this, and something that you can get your hands on fairly easy if you have a copy of Revit. Okay, cool. So after I sent it over, this is just exactly how it came. And I did put a background in, and I did that specifically to show you one part of the feature of the Sun Study, okay? So we'll get to that in a moment. So the first thing that we do is we have to get into edit mode. So let's go ahead and click on edit mode. And now what I'm going to need to do is change this background. So currently this is just a static image for a background, and that doesn't really work when we want to do a sun study, because the whole sun study works through the environment, and that's really important that it's connected. So let's go ahead and first try to click on this sun study button, and you'll see that nothing really happens, right? We get no action out of it, and that's because we don't have that dynamic background. And if you read this little how-to, it'll tell you that you need to have a dynamic background. So let's go ahead and do that. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is go ahead and hit our Sky browser. It's this second button down here, and we can click it. And once we do that, we want to go to the dynamic group, okay? And inside the dynamic group, we can go ahead and select the proper type of sky that we would like. So I'm going to go for a cloudy sky, just because that's what I feel like. And I'm going to go ahead and apply it to my mesh, or to my scene rather. Everything will turn dark for a split moment, and once the material is fully loaded, it'll show up in the bottom. And now you can see that we're getting much more believable light out of this, and that's because this is a full HDR environment. It's just going to work a lot better, and it's going to be a lot more accurate. Okay, so now we have a nice generated dynamic sky that is doing the calculations for our positioning. Okay, so now let's go ahead and open up that Sun Study button. And you'll see that now we actually get a sun study showing up here on the bottom of our screen. Okay, so as we scrub the time of day, we'll see that we're actually changing what it looks like in our scene. Okay, and we're really affecting that time of day quite nicely. Okay, now part of this scrubber is that we can increase the amount of time, so we can narrow it off to specific parts of the day if we want to. All right, so now I'm going to, middle of the night where it's going to be rather dark, and we're progressing right into the early morning and all the way through the day. So very, very nice effect, and we go all the way into the dark. So you might, like traditionally, you might want to kind of tone this back a little bit, come just to right where you lose the light, and maybe set a marker there. And let's go the opposite end to just in the early morning. And we can go ahead and call that good. Now if we hit the play button, we can actually watch the day pass, and we can start investigating our home from all different angles. So very convenient sun study. Now, of course, this time of day is completely dependent on the time of year. Okay, so one thing that we'll need to be able to do is set the time of year, or basically the calendar date that we want to emulate. Okay, so to be able to do that, we have a set date and time, and it's set right here. So let's go ahead and set the date and time, and here we can select whatever month we would like. Let's grab, I don't know, December, make it a little more drastically different than where we are now. And let's make it, December 31st. We'll put it right at the new year, okay? And we can even choose the calendar year, so we can get true accuracy. We're going to go ahead and put it on 2020 and say okay. And now you can see that we're getting, a darker time of day here instead. So now 6:49 is, much more dark. So again, you'll want to adjust your time sliders to make sure that they co-align with your time of day in your calendar year. Okay, so that covers that. Now, a sun study wouldn't be complete unless we had the ability to actually set the proper location in the world. So to do that, all we do is we just go up to this set location, and here we can set our location for our scene. Now we can set up a latitude and longitude. We can select from an address, so we can just grab a major city. I'll go ahead and grab Berlin for now. And this isn't a fully implemented feature yet, but down here we'll eventually have the city state, and so you can just put in an actual address and it'll give you the location correctly as well. The last thing that you should know is that this north orientation allows you to adjust your scene so that you're facing proper north. So if your scene isn't actually set to north, you can rotate it to get it to be proper north. Or you could use it just for aesthetic reasons. So a couple different uses for that. All right, once we have it set, our scene is now playing in Berlin, and this is what the light will look like in Berlin. So we can really get a good visual understanding of what our scene looks like with proper light. And what's really great about this is that because it's a full real-time path tracer, we're getting physically accurate light that's even fully accurate indoors. So the light is actually transferring through these windows and giving extremely accurate light, and we don't even have to do a light bake. So unbelievable speed and capability. Right here at your fingertips, all with a simple sun study that you can really be sure is quite true to the real world. That's about all I have to say about the sun study. As you can see, it's an easy tool to use, produces great results, and looks fantastic. All right, great. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was illuminating, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Bye-bye.